Hi, good morning, everyone. Hopefully, we'll have some people be able to join us live. I think it's 11 o'clock here and maybe 1 o'clock on the East Coast. My name is Eliza Bacote. I am a nurse practitioner and certified wellness practitioner, and one of the leaders in this group, here to talk to you today about using essential oils for kids for immune support. So we're gonna dedicate this to kids. Now, disclaimer in the very beginning is that when we talk about kids, we typically are talking about over the age of 1 to 2. When we use essential oils in babies, and we classify babies as under 1 year old, things are a little bit different related to dilution. Courtney gave us some great information on that for babies last month. So if you're searching for that, don't be afraid to go look in the Facebook group and search for babies, and you'll get some great information on babies. But what we're gonna talk about today is kids. And when we talk about kids, we're talking about that 1 to 2 range all the way up to 18. Hi, Christine, I miss you so much. And so it changes a little bit, right? Once kids get to that 10 to 12 age is when you can actually start using essential oils by little bitty bits internally. And so we're gonna talk about that as we move through some of the products that we're gonna talk about today. So today is Wellness Wednesday, and every Wednesday we try and bring you just a little bit of direct live information about how to use essential oils for various problems in your family. So let's get started. The first thing we're gonna talk about is using oils aromatically in kids for immune support. So you see I have my little Pilot diffuser here. This goes with me everywhere. Hi, Benton. This goes with us everywhere. It fits in the cup holder of our car. It's what I put on their school table over there and diffusing, and I'm diffusing all kinds of different things throughout the day. But once the cold and flu season starts, I'm typically diffusing either the On Guard blend or the stronger blend. And really that just becomes our mainstay diffusing oil blend throughout the day and at night, whenever your kids are around. If they're at school, then you diffuse this in the morning. And the first thing I do when I get up, before the kids get up, and I start the coffee, is I start the diffuser. And so what you're gonna wanna use is the On Guard blend. Just if you forget anything about using oils in kids, you think of Stronger and On Guard. And now we're so lucky because right now that limited time offer is out there to get that Stronger in a bottle to put in a diffuser. And so those are very important to be diffusing this season. And I basically diffuse those oils every single day in our home, basically until cold and flu season are over, and that's typically March, right? Sometimes April if it's a really bad season. And because of the current viral threats that we have, I've been diffusing On Guard a lot, especially when we travel too. Now, what's important too, and sometimes too, if my children have become ill, I'll actually diffuse On Guard or Stronger beside their bed at night. So they're receiving some of those oils aromatically too at night, helping boost their immune system. And how these oils work is like this. All of those oils in the Stronger blend, and especially the On Guard blend, have strong antiviral properties, antibacterial, and immune supporting properties. They're strong antioxidants. And so when you diffuse, remember the nose is very vascular, so they're receiving those oils through the nasal chambers, and yes, it's getting systemically. So that's what's amazing about diffusing, is that not only are they getting it systemically, especially if they're sleeping next to it, but you're also helping with the microbes in the air. So when studies looked at diffusing those oils in the air, it proved that they actually killed microbes in the air 100%. And remember, in this current viral season, we're learning a lot about droplets and what droplets stay in the air, right? And which droplets drop to the ground. Now, because the cold is coming in the fall, those droplets tend to hang in the air longer. Humidity helps us when it comes to the viral season because those droplets drop to the ground. But in the fall and winter, when the air is more dry, those droplets can hang out in the air. So diffusing is super important in your home every single day as part of your ritual, your wellness ritual, to help prevent those microbes from staying in the air and killing them. So we have studies that prove that. So that's why if you think that diffusing is not as important for immune support as you think it is, it's really great for the environment in your home to make sure that it keeps the air clean, okay? So that's diffusing. Now let's talk about topical immune support in kids. Now, you may have a bottle of On Guard, right? That's undiluted. Those are hot oils, so we need to be really careful using those in children. We're very lucky because doTERRA is smart and helps us with this. On Guard Touch is already diluted and can be used in children. I started using On Guard in my children over the age of 2, and I actually add stronger to that. But if you feel uncomfortable using those hot oils in your child until maybe around 3, 4, 5, that's what the stronger blend is for. And I use this stronger blend on my baby who's 7 months old too. But because doTERRA came out with this, which is different than the On Guard, remember the On Guard is the cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, and rosemary, some very intense, amazing supporting oils. But these are different and they work in different ways. Rose, cedarwood, Litsea, frankincense. Frankincense is a really powerful oil for supporting the immune system and to keep our cells healthy. Rose, very, very strong antibacterial properties. And people say to me, Eliza, when I put this topically on my kids, how do I know it's working? Yes, immune support is not one of those things that you're going to see overnight, right? It's not like an oil that you apply for sleep and then, oh, they sleep great. This is something that you apply daily to your children's spine and feet. And then you look back over 6 months and you're like, wow, nobody's been sick. This is amazing. And that's how it happened for us when I was using oils for immune support. I wasn't sure, is this working? Is this making a difference? And sure enough, we went a whole cold and flu season and no one even got a sniffle. And I finally connected the dots that I was using the On Guard, using the stronger in my children. And so how you want to apply these, remember these are already diluted. If you don't have the diluted oil and you have the oil in the bottle of On Guard, for your kids, a really safe dilution is taking a 10 ml roller bottle, filling it with fractionated coconut oil, and putting about 5 to 10 drops in there. That's going to be a safe dilution for any child over the age of 2 to 3. And yes, use this in your teenagers. It's really important. Before they came out with On Guard hand sanitizer, I actually would take On Guard and put it in their hands every day before they left for school, just so some of those antibacterial oils are on their hands. But the great place to do this is on the feet and the spine. So like for my kids, when we're doing their supplement regimen in the morning, everybody gets a swipe of the On Guard on the spine and a swipe of the stronger. These go with me absolutely everywhere. So that's how we use oils topically for kids for immune support. And really, you don't have to do much more than that. Now, if your kid gets sick, and the off chance that they do, we love that blend called Flume, and you can mix up your own roller bottle of this. It's frankincense, lemon, On Guard, oregano, and melaleuca. I like to use this in kids over the age of 2. You're gonna get a 10 ml roller bottle, fill it with fractionated coconut oil, about 3/4 full, and you're gonna add about 3 to 5 drops of every single one of those oils. And you're gonna apply it to their feet and spine every 2 to 4 hours. Because remember, oils metabolize rapidly in the body. And yes, they are getting this systemically. Anything that you put on your skin gets absorbed into the dermis of the skin, gets into the bloodstream. And so they're getting that circulation of those oils that's helping them fight off whatever they're having. And if you're just too lazy or too busy or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You don't have to mix up Flume. You can use both of these. And this is a great thing to do for immune support if your child is sick. And so those are our topical options, and the topical areas are the spine and the feet. For general immune support, really just once or twice a day is great. Again, if they're sick, I like to do it every 2 to 4 hours. And so those are our favorite blends. And while we are going to be talking about supplements next week, remember that nothing replaces a good diet for the immune support. So try and reduce consumption of sugar, healthy fruits and vegetables, all the things that we know support a really good immune system. And the kids need supplements for immune support. This has vitamin C, vitamin D. Vitamin D is so important for the immune system. And so that's very, very important that they're receiving that every day. It's very hard to get enough vitamin D, especially in the cold and flu season, because the sun is not out as much. We're not outside as much. So you really need to be supplementing with the A to Z chewables 2 a day. If they're under the age of 5, you can give them 1 a day, okay, of these A to Z chewables. Probiotics, so important. We know so much now about gut health and how important the gut is in regulating the immune system. They need probiotics every day. I give my daughter, who's 5, 2 PB Assists every day. That's 5 billion colony forming units per PB Assist, so she gets 10 every day. Kids can have 5 to 15 billion, what we call CFUs, colony forming units, a day. So if your kids are a little bit older, they're gonna need probably 3 of these a day, okay? If they're over the age of 12, I'd probably do 3 of these a day. And this is so, so important. And stay tuned, because next week on my supplement regimen, I'm going to give you a really good supplement that I love that has elderberry in it and is great for immune support too. That's the Mary Roos Immunity Gummies. I give my kids 1 a day of those. I love those. We don't have an elderberry supplement yet from doTERRA, but that one is my favorite. It's easy to travel with. It has some extra vitamin C in it, and I love it, love it, love it. It's the Mary Roos Immunity Gummies. So supplementing is extremely important for keeping your kids healthy throughout the viral and cold season. Now, let's talk about one more thing topically that is a must-have for you and your kids. My kids, when they are at school, when they're in school session, have one of these in their bag. And I keep this in my purse at all times. It's the On Guard hand sanitizer. It has greater than 60% alcohol in it, so it's great at killing viruses and bacteria, but it also has the On Guard blend in it, perfectly diluted. And I like to spray it actually on their little nails before they leave in the morning. So that's one more step in the regimen that we do. I spray it on their hands, but I actually spray it. I keep their nails really short, right? Because they're always sticking their fingers everywhere. And I still find my kids sticking their fingers in their mouth. I keep their nails short, and I spray the On Guard hand sanitizer just right underneath the fingernails and their nails and make sure they rub it in. And I tell them, hey, do this at lunchtime and do this throughout the day. And they actually love the smell, so they say that they use it a lot because they like the smell, because it smells really good, wild orange and cinnamon and clove. So the On Guard hand sanitizer is an absolute must. Now, let's talk about when you can use internal essential oils with kids. Everybody varies on this topic, right? A mainstay of kind of what I have recommended is typically in that 10 to 12 range, above that age. Now, my children both had the flu last year, and I actually used an On Guard beadlet in each of them 1 a day while they had the flu and they were sick. That's because it was a major issue happening. I was giving them lots of supplements. They needed a lot of support. They were sick. The On Guard beadlets have 1/4 of a drop in them. So it's a really nice thing to use for kids because you don't want to give them a full drop internally. It's too much. And so this is something I use, typically recommend over the age of 10 to 12. But again, I feel very comfortable using one of these in my children that are 5 and 7 when they're very sick. I don't use it as prophylactic. I use it only when I have to pull the trigger when I feel like they're coming down with something or if they are sick. But typically you want to reserve this internal consumption for over the age of 10 to 12. And again, there's only 1/4 of a drop in here. They're really, really small. And so there's actually like 125 beadlets in there. You can kind of see all the little beadlets. This one's still closed. I have about 10 of these with me because we travel. And I love to use them when traveling. But that is okay for your kids that are over the age of 10 to 12. You can do it when traveling, prophylactically over that age of 10 to 12. Or if they get sick, you can give them a couple of these twice a day over the age of 10 to 12. Okay, so those are great to have in your arsenal for immune support. Now, On Guard soft gels, we're typically used to thinking about these for us as adults for immune support, right? So really, really important to understand that these have some different oils in there other than just On Guard. They're called On Guard soft gels, but they have Melissa in there, a strong antiviral oil. They have eucalyptus, just like the On Guard, black pepper, wild orange. And so when you can start to use these is really in those teenage years, okay? If your child gets sick or if they're traveling, they can have one. Okay, and we don't use these for long periods of time, typically on average about 3 to 7 days, because they have also oregano in them. Remember, oregano is the oil of antibiotic. It's a really, really powerful oil for the immune system. But your teenagers can have this. They can have one. If they're really bad off, they can have one twice a day. But I wouldn't continue that for more than 7 days at a time. But just know this can be used for your kids. They just need to really be over the age of 12 to 13 before you use them. And you guys, that is our basic tools that we have for immune support in kids. Of course, the Flume Blend can also be used in teenagers, 1 drop of each in a veggie cap, typically over the age of 13 to 14, if they're really struggling. But I love those On Guard soft gels because they're just so easy. I don't have to mix anything for myself. And if I had teenagers, that's what I would use if they were coming down with something and they were sick. So I hope I didn't miss anything. Again, that elderberry supplement that I mentioned is Mary Ruth, and then using these, so that is part of our immune routine for our kids. Topical oils every day with On Guard Stronger, hand sanitizer every day on the hands and the nails before they go out the door or when we're together throughout the day, diffusing On Guard and Stronger all the time during the cold and flu season, and making sure they have great supplementation with those A to Z vitamins and probiotics, the PB Assist Junior, and then making sure they're eating healthy. Now is a better time than ever during the cold and flu season to really just kind of not buy the sugar. Don't have lots of excess sugar in your house. Make sure they're eating lots of fruits and vegetables because that gives them all the vitamins they need to help support their immune systems. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions or if you feel like I missed something, please post it in the comments underneath this Facebook Live, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day.